Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. Everybody is unmuted, and I am so excited to be here. Welcome, everybody. I appreciate you showing up after our brief week and a half hiatus. But we have returned once again to the fun and exciting and trauma-filled world of Eberron, Ashes of the Last War. For those of you who don't know, my name is Obsidia, everyone's favorite Death Knight, and the GM of this particular campaign. The order of business for tonight is we're going to go around doing the classic introductions of the various streamers here, as well as their characters, any announcements they may have, a big announcement that I have for these streams going forward, and then a session recap before we just get going, fam. So without further ado, I will pass it on over, as we always do, left to right. So, Yulia.
Because I'm recovering from the plague, but yes, I'm Yulia. I go by Royal Knight VT on both Twitch and Twitter. Do a variety of games, playing a lot of Skyrim at the moment. Nothing big announcements, but always very, very happy to be here. So thank you.
Thank you, Yulia. And of course, Sif.
Hi, I'm Sif, Night VTuber, sometimes cat girl like today. Twitch, Twitter, I do art, I do D&D, I do games. Hi. No, I'm a little out of it because I have a plan for today's session, that is all. Trying to organize that before we start.
Do I look like a man with a plan?
Yes, you can tell from how frazzled I look.
Thank you, and of course, Litro.
Hey, I'm Litro the Bronze. I'm one quarter dragon. I like to play RPGs and D&D and stuff. Hi. And also, for all you who don't already know, this Sunday, that will be July 31st, I will be doing a small little celebration one-shot of finally getting 250 followers on Twitter, where I will be streaming a bunch of people who are some of them in this chat, will be going through a dungeon controlled entirely by Twitch chat. So if you want to come along and just drop a bunch of goblins on the heroes as they try and make their way through this weird dungeon, feel free to do that when the time comes.
Once again, congratulations, Litro. So happy you hit that milestone. And also, everyone be sure to check it out and be sure to torture our lovable friends here. And then, of course, last but never least, Mari.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Maribelle, and I'm chugging coffee because I woke up from a nap a half hour ago. How's it going? I am a Hobbit VTuber, and I like to do comfy, cozy streams. We do book readings, we do writing, we cook in my kitchen, we do crafts. It's just a nice, cozy time, so stop on by if you ever need just chill vibes. I'm on Twitch as Maribelle Bramble and Twitter as Maribelle VT.
Thank you, Mari. And if anybody is ever curious, the commands that I entered, !players, will show you everybody's Twitch URLs for the 4 people here. If you do !D&D, it'll take you to the Ashes of the Last War YouTube, where I post up all the episodes. And if you do !D&D music, it'll take you to the YouTube playlist of all the D&D songs I use in the course of this campaign. So anybody can use those. Please feel free to enter them in if you are interested. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. So the big announcement I have for these streams going forward is that they are no longer going to be happening on Wednesdays. We are actually moving Ashes of the Last War to Monday nights at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. We're having a scheduling issue, so the thing that worked for everybody else was to move it from today at 6:30 to Monday at 6:30. So going forward, that is where we will be on a weekly basis. So I hope to see you guys this Monday. And the Wednesday streams will be what were formerly my Monday streams. So playing Darkest Dungeon and Death's Door and whatever we replaced Death's Door with once we beat it. So that's the big update there. D&D and scheduling issues, they have a more iconic duo. But yeah. So previously on Eberron, Ashes of the Last War, our party found themselves amidst an enormous battle fighting for their lives in a warehouse within Greywall. They were confronted by various thug-like figures, which, as they engaged in combat with them, became apparent they were not alone, and there were significantly more ne'er-do-wells within this warehouse hiding. As the battle commenced, they also discovered through an erstwhile use of burning hands that the warehouse was also being used to stockpile enormous amounts of alchemist fire, which caused, upon the detonation with the burning hands, the entire warehouse to catch fire, amplifying the severity of their actions as well as the imminence of getting the hostages out of this place alive. They were very clued into the fact that the people they were pursuing were in fact here as the mysterious orc, or half-orc with 3 gashes across his face from Larissa's talons, made himself known with a large battle axe that he had used to chop down Jasmine's hearth tree. So as the battle commenced, everyone essentially got to have their first taste of truly fighting for your life battle, with a particularly traumatizing note placed upon Paige, which was her first time in combat, and not only that, her first time taking not 1, but 2 men's lives using her magic in particularly gruesome ways. So with that little learning experience out of the way, the party then worked their way deeper into the warehouse, where the kidnappers revealed themselves with the rest of the hostages in tow, threatening their lives if the heroes did not let them out. And that is where they noticed that their favorite battle wizard war criminal, the Harlequin, was also amongst the criminals and very entertained by the whole prospect of being there. So with one last plea from Cess asking for help, the Harlequin unveiled that she was never really a prisoner and was just kind of entertaining these ne'er-do-wells, and melted through her handcuffs and proceeded to kill them all in incredibly brutal and gruesome fashions. At this point, Paige and Jubilee were able to burst in from one of the doors, find all the hostages, escort them out, and as guards were approaching the burning warehouse, led by Flamebearer, the priestess of the Silver Flame here, the hobgoblin Rei Nin Yen, the Harlequin proceeded to teleport the party as well with their whole assembled crew to the Tethonus Grove to return Jasmine to her grove of dryads and to start returning all the various hostages to their homes. From here, the heroes went one by one and were thanked by the various families and individuals they had saved, pulling many a heartstring and drawing many a tear from even the sturdest eyes, as these families, these children were so incredibly gracious for what these strangers did for them. They were also offered a fabulous feast by one of the nobles of the monster part of the city, Lady Cryotrixia, a large Lamia woman, but they declined for the time being and decided to pick it up later as they were very worn out by their experience fighting for their lives. From there, they ran into Rei Nin Yen once more, who healed them up and basically gave them the most mean, belittling, and adversarial thanks and rejuvenation session that is probably possible by a good woman. And the heroes returned to their inn, the Gold Dragon Inn, where they decided to sit down, get some dinner, get a hard drink, and relax. Unfortunately, relaxation was not meant to be had, as they decided to use this opportunity to unveil dark secrets about each other. For instance, Kliff revealed upon being heavily pressed by Jubilee that he was in fact not actually Kliff. He's a changeling who just goes by nobody. And the original Kliff Deorian actually was a child who fell down a well and died. And nobody has been pretending to be him all of this time. And Jubilee did not take this news very well, and nobody felt very rejected, and the party began to fragment apart. Paige was confronted with the issues surrounding the trauma of having taken her first life. She sought solace with Cess, who basically said, I'm sorry, girl, but this is something you got to do alone right now. And with all of that in mind, they all went to sleep, having dreamless dreams, except for nobody, who was racked with the experiences of once again dealing with seems like a second day revelation. Dealing with their small child Kliff, who they've been interacting with continuously, and they awake the next morning. So without any further ado, we will commence the session. I believe particularly Cess wanted to arise extra early amongst our plucky group of adventurers. Cess.
Okay. So I'm assuming everyone wants to get up around 8, 9 a.m. Cess gets up at 6, recognizing that that last fight's performance was god awful. Some of the worst fighting she's ever done in a while. And she was under the impression that adventuring was a lot easier than being in the pit. Because in a pit, you're in a dirty hole fighting for money. Adventuring, I thought it was better. You're still in a dirty hole fighting for money. Except it's worse somehow. So, Cez is going to return to her roots, begin an exercise regimen. I'm assuming the hotel, gives exercise gear. It's just like you want it in the room, it's there, yeah?
Yeah, that is readily available if need be.
So, Cez readily, does her morning exercise, and then afterwards, with some extra time, acquires groceries. Now, Obsidia, I don't know if this is should I get groceries from the hotel, or if I can just go out to a farmer's
The hotel will
really
provide you anything you need.
All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and take the recipes for breakfast, and Cez makes her way to the private dining room that they all had their dinner in, and controls the room to basically turn into imagine a fairly middle class home where there's a dining table, and then next to the dining table is a counter. Over the counter is the kitchen, and Cez starts cooking breakfast and asks the attendant or whatever spirit is in the room to inform the rest of the party that breakfast is being prepared.
Okay. A arcane intelligence will appear and take your command and proceed to go as each of the rest of the party is either awake or awakening. You're each greeted by a spirit within your rooms, and it promptly informs you, Lord Deorian, Miss Page, Miss Ravamont, you have been invited to a breakfast feast brought to you by Cess at the private dining room. Do you wish to join her?
Okay, so Paige just she's been awake, so kind of just lying in her bed for a little bit, hears the message and sits up slowly, wiping all the dried tears from her face, and she'll nod her head like, "Yes, of course."
Excellent, my lady. And the spirit will disappear. Next up, let's go Jubilee. Miss Ravamont, what do you do upon awakening?
Well, I think Jubilee would honestly seem to be strangely calm and collected, and going about her very typical morning primping routine. Gotta get that skincare nice and moisturized and, keep that perfect magenta skin tone and, making sure her hair looks just so. But when, she's summoned to breakfast, she'll just, look at the little attendant and say, "Of course. Yes, I'll be right down. 5 minutes, if you please."
Excellent, Lady Ravamont. And it disappears. Nobody. What do you do upon awakening?
Before awakening, nobody actually had a very vivid dream last night. Almost a reminder. as he dreamt of being at the bottom of that same well, where the real Kliff had died. Him having to bury the body in rocks and hoping that no one ever came down here to discover what really happened, and hoping that someone would even come looking for the real Kliff so that he may get out. It's not exactly what happened, but in the guilt of dreams and the wavering emotions, it felt much longer than it actually took. As he was climbing out of the well, that is when he woke up.
Okay.
Really, first what he does is go over to the mirror, noticing still the Kliff face he has on. Making sure no one was actually in the room first, he starts to change to one face, then another, seemingly experimenting. Then that twinge of guilt comes over him once more, and then he changes back into Kliff. When the summons for breakfast arrive, he will gladly accept them and put on that fake smile he had on before.
Wonderful, Lord Diorian. And with that, the spirit disappears, and you each, one by one, arrive at your private dimensional dining hall, where you see Cess. Cess, what is their feast?
As you enter the room, there is just this instant hit of like steam in the air, and these smells of like eggs and fruit coming over, fried foods, but like you look over the countertop trying to make sense of the smells, and you just see the Cess's back as she's like stirring in a pot, and a pan's like sizzling to the side. Here you come, and she doesn't even turn around and says, "Go on, sit down. I almost got it ready. Come on. Get at your seats.
I didn't expect you to be making food when everything's been offered to us all this time.
Yeah, well, today's what we're gonna call a trial period. I'll get more into that, but go ahead and sit down first.
What might you be cooking?
She lifts the ladle up to her mouth in the pot, gives it a sip, and says, "Needs some more of this." And she's like reaching over from her like cooking utensils bag and grabs some like peppercorns and literally crunches them up with her fist and sprinkles them in. You just sit down and you wait and see, Kliffy boy.
Sure you don't need any help?
Nah, and I'll be fine. I mean, set the plates on the table and the utensils, but just give me a bit here.
Oh, okay. I can do that. She'll go ahead and start to do that.
We're all eating. They should help you too. All right.
Do you want to join in setting up Jubilee and Kliff?
Kliff will go ahead and just do as he was told. Quote, "Go ahead and sit down, Kliffy boy."
I think as, the table is being set, this is when Jubilee will make her fashionably late entrance.
You see Kliffy boy sitting down as Cess is ladling a big pot, and it smells the way Cess described it, and you see Paige setting up little dining placements. One of the first things you notice is how simplistic her placements are. She basically did like knife, spoon, fork, plate, and you find it shocking how few utensils are being distributed out to you guys.
There's no need for 2 forks, okay?
I need my tiny forks.
What's the point? It's more utensils you have to wash.
Well, it smells good. Cess, what are you working on there?
And you see Cess like lifting the pot up with one hand, like over a handle, like kind of much, and like 3 bowls in the other one. Puts them down. She puts one bowl down on the table, lifts up the other 2 with one hand. With the other in her other hand, she pours the pot over, filling the bowls on each one. It's kind of messy, kind of splashes around. But it's a few stains on the table. Cess doesn't really care. It's very simple lentil soup. there was no meat in today's breakfast. The sizzling from the pan was coming from a dish with eggs and fried beans. For those of you who would like to cook along at home, it is huevos rancheros.
Ah.
And yeah,
Ay, Dios
she like gotta
Yes,
get
yes,
the
yes.
yeah, gonna get all the ethnic energy out of this character. Anyways, Sez takes the big frying pan and like divides it using a spatula, breaks into portions. Paige has the most amount of soup, least amount of egg and beans to eat through. She gets a side of fruit. Jubilee, you get a pretty balanced portion of all three. Kliff gets the most eggs and beans, even compared to Sez, and gets very little fruit on the side. All right, just give me a second here, and she like puts the pan back and takes off her apron, tosses it over the counter, not even really caring where it ends up. Sits down and just leans back in the chair like what, like a Jarl from Skyrim, you know, giving Yulia's recent playthrough.
Dragonborn.
I get it now. I know the
I
meme.
understood that reference.
I understood that reference.
Right. So, she looks at the group and goes, "Yesterday sucked, yeah."
That's a simplistic way of putting it, but yes.
If it's simple, we can swallow it that much better. Listen,
I wouldn't say it sucked. For us, perhaps, but we
Listen.
did save lives that day.
but maybe there are better people to do that. Listen, my point is, I'm gonna put it out here, and I'm not gonna name any of the names who may also be thinking this, but I don't know if we as a group can work out. I don't know if we have the talents or the skills necessary to really make it as an adventuring party or whatever Kliff or nobody was saying. But listen, I know we did good. Seeing those people get home safe, that was fine. Ain't no reason to think we can't do it again. Maybe, hopefully next time, not with as many wounds. And not having to rely on someone that clearly scares the shit out of all of you to do it. But if we're gonna do this, we need to know that we can work together properly. Especially after all that was revealed last night. So, today's gonna be a trial day. We're gonna try to get past our issues together. And we're also gonna pretend as if we're gonna go ahead with the mercenary deal. I'm not signing any papers yet, Pink Boy. Not signing any yet. But we're gonna pretend like it is gonna happen, okay? Just to feel things out. Are you all open to that idea?
Jubilee is going to put her utensils down and sit up straight, looking suddenly very businesslike, and just sort of clears her throat. Well, firstly, I want to apologize. I want to apologize to the group because, well, things got a little heated last night, and it was very unprofessional of me, and I should not be dragging any personal business into the job.
When you say
And it won't-
heated, are you talking about the warehouse or the dinner?
Oh my god, that really is a child in there, isn't there?
You see the briefest little glimpse of a smile before correcting herself and ignores the comment. It won't happen again because I know better. It shouldn't have happened at all. So, Cess, Paige, I am sorry. I know that probably put you in a damned awkward position. But, like Cess said, we still have some work to do to see this job done. And I intend to see it completed to the best of my abilities, so. Yes, let's give today a try.
All right. So I'm just gonna add on a few things here, and like says like her eyes snap, and it's like, oh wait, I forgot one more thing, and she gets up to get a now steaming like screeching teapot, and is like, I made some spiced ginger tea to help out a little bit. She starts pouring the cups, but then goes, I was gonna talk about it. Last night was awkward. It wasn't even just Kliff. I also showed a side of myself I didn't want to. But the thing is, and she says she's passing out the cups now. No sugar for you, Kliff. No sugar goes in that tea. Thing is,
I feel like you're trying to tell me something with the food you give me.
I'm gonna get right to that. But I'm not. If we're gonna be adventure together, we're gonna be living together. There's no way we're staying in a swanky ass hotel as a company. All right. I don't know if we're gonna get our own place, if you're gonna come crash with us and Sean, but we are grouping together very neatly. And that means emotions are gonna spill. Things are gonna happen. No group ever goes far being closed off from one another. Every story about those adventuring groups I read about as a kid, or Paige read to me, because some of the words are a little big, but they got over the issues together. Okay? So it's going to happen, and we have to be open. Now, I'm not saying you need to be open. That can take its time, and if you decide that's too much, then maybe the group shouldn't work out. I want to put down some ground rules right now. I don't like being angry, and I'm not ready to talk about that. But if I have to get angry while we fight, we are going to move past that at my pace, okay? And if I get hurt or injured up there, that is because I go in there full welling, knowing that I'm going to get hurt a lot, okay? Even when I'm angry, I'm wide aware, even when I'm angry, okay? Next point of contention is no special treatment. This is the biggest one I want you guys to agree with me on. If you are in danger, if you are going to die, you are going to prioritize your well-being and get out of there. You are nobody's burden but your own. Look out for each other as best as you can, but if you are going to die, you get out of there. Looks at the whole group. I don't want to hear any, I'm going to sacrifice myself to save them. You are not sacrificing yourself, okay? Are we clear on this?
That kind of goes against my line of work, you understand.
Well, I mean, you're not going to be a bodyguard in the adventuring group, right? I mean, if we're all a bodyguard to defend this one guy, maybe. We'll talk about it with the... If it pays enough, maybe I might take a fatal wound. I don't know. But...
Also, you could have used a better choice of words rather than nobody's burden.
He, like, slowly turns over to Kliff. All right, I'm going to get to you now. Rule number 3. We are going to make ourselves better. You know, growth and all that shit. To get better. That's how we improve. That's how we gain experience. That's how we, get stronger. I'm gonna give an example. Now, Kliff here, and she like walks over and puts her hands on Kliff's shoulders and grips rather tight. It's like, Kliff here has a child to take care of. Isn't that right, Kliff? You have a young boy to take care of, yeah? I don't know. Yeah?
It's complicated.
Listen, all that complicated stuff went over my head. Point is, you're taking responsibility for that kid. You are effectively his eldest sibling, his parent, whatever you want to describe it as. You are the more responsible one of the two. You have to take care of him. And that means, based on your experiences, not his, because he's not getting any experience if you're not letting him have it. You got to take care of him.
I like to think of it more as I am simply a blank body and he has taken it over.
Would a child willingly get shot? Would a child willingly run into firestorm? That's you. You're doing your best for this person, all right? You need to take responsibility for it and not just wipe your hands off it saying you're doing what he wants. Until kids reach a certain age, I don't know if you know this, but their parents are responsible for him. Unfortunately, in your situation, Kliff's parents can't be responsible for him. That's you. So, you have to stop doing whatever he asks, and you have to do what's best for the both of you. You are there together, and you have a responsibility since you know more. And that also includes eating properly. I don't know what insides do, but there's no way eating that much sugar is healthy for you.
Well, actually, it can be quite useful. You see how my body works is I can literally morph it into anything I want, so I can actually morph it into anything that can digest anything. And he just starts to ramble.
Okay, yeah, that's nice. You are gonna eat well. Maybe not for you, but for that kid. I'm sure he didn't want to eat broccoli, but his parents made him eat broccoli, you know? I didn't want to eat bell peppers growing up, but I did because my mom said they were good for me. His mom can't say it's good for him. You got to. That is my encouragement for you. You have to take responsibility for this kid. Otherwise, you're going to have a kid tell you what to do for the rest of your life. He ain't going to mature. He ain't going to grow. He ain't going to experience that thing you promised him to. It'll just breeze past him meaninglessly. Are we clear on this?
I suppose so.
You don't have to like immediately follow what I'm saying. I'm just, this isn't an order. This is just me saying I'm looking out for you. If I catch you eating like 12 of those, like, what are they? Those halfling Twinkies? God, I love them. But if I see you eating 12 of them, I am snatching them out of your head and feeding them to Paige.
I don't think even I could eat 12.
Paige could.
I would go more like 7.
Listen, anyways. That's an example. Taking care of himself. And I'm going to help with that out. Because whatever our living situation is going to be, this is my cooking. I know how to manage the diet because fortunately, I had to manage my own diet to, and she like flexes to get here. Now, I'm not going to jack you up like me, but I'm going to make sure you're taking care of yourselves. You got that? And, vice versa, this, that, everyone watches out for the group. You got that?
Could always go visit my mother sometime. I know she cooks excellently.
Sure, we can visit your mom sometime in the future. Maybe, as a congratulations. But right now, I need to know, these are my conditions for the trial period. If y'all have any to provide, please. And Tez goes back to sitting down and playing with her eggs.
I do not feel I have any authority to say anything.
You do. Listen, I'm not going to step that boundary between you and Jubilee. I don't want to put any words in either of your mouth, but if you do end up working together, you are going to be equals. You have to be. So, if there's something you think is important, please say it. Okay? You matter to this group. The
Okay.
one I'm talking to you that makes the decisions. By the way, we haven't met Kliff. I'm sure he matters too, but nobody, you matter.
Okay. Well, if I am allowed to say something, then something we do need to talk about is our actual teamwork. We need to start talking more if we are going to work things out. Last time we did not, and we ended up struggling especially in that last fight. We did not plan properly. We did not go through. We had those of us more hot-headed run in, myself included, and those who should be in the front, who were meant to take the hits, who are able to, were in the back cleaning up the mess of the rest of us. We need to correspond better, and we need to play to each other's strengths more, rather than going off on our own and doing whatever.
Maybe pick up a celestial dictionary as well. That could have helped.
Yeah. I actually know something to be able to comprehend a whole bunch of languages, so I'll definitely put that to better use next time.
I
And
have
that's-
that as well, but it takes a bit of time to actually cast it.
Mhm. I do agree with you though, Kliff, about, the way we fight. It's still going to take me some time to get used to. But I know how confident and how reliable everyone can be. So I definitely want to lean on your support. And I can definitely help strategize. I've read a few, tactical
How
books.
are you, by the way?
Huh? Me? Oh.
Yes.
Um.
Last night was hectic, but I believe something I picked up on was that was your first time taking a life? Are you processing it well?
I don't know how anyone can. It was my first time. I never imagined doing something like that before, and I'm still pretty shook up about it. But she turns to Sess and kind of smiles weakly.
I can tell you, it doesn't get any easier. That weight will forever be on you. But something I like to think about is you can do more good than bad in this world. But doing
Right.
more good, it helps make up for things you may have gone wrong.
Yeah, I'm beginning to realize that there are bad things in this world. I mean, coming from Sharon, I've known that. I've grown up with it, but
You think of it as killing a person. Think instead of you did what you did so those kids can go home.
right.
While the death will weigh on you, try and remember that you were a hero yesterday. I hope that helps.
It does. Thank you, Kliff.
Jubilee. I apologize. I never told you sooner. I wanted to, but I was scared. That's all that is to it.
I can understand that. So, thank you. Things won't be the same, you realize. But that doesn't mean they can't get better.
Do you remember that party of Sir Reginald? And he got second place in the horse race.
I do.
Back when we were, what was it, 5?
Yeah. About that age.
You came up to me complaining about some prank that Kliff did. That was the first time I met you. Just so you know.
See. She'll just
Gonna
go
get,
back to
Yeah.
eating very awkwardly.
Awkward mealtime.
It's Sess's food is delicious. You'll really love it. She makes a lot of food at home, so thank you for
Good.
this, Sess.
It's damn good.
Cliff
This is gonna
slowly
be the
starts to
norm
reach
from
for
now on.
Cliff slowly starts to reach for the salt.
She ain't stopping you.
He takes it and he overloads it because that is way too much protein for it to be flavorless.
Well, it's not that much protein. It's like a fried egg and beans.
That is a lot of protein.
Tiger
Eh,
mom.
It's
Kliff
not that
has
much.
never had that much protein on a single plate before.
He said it was a bowl.
Man eats jelly beans all
Oh,
day,
that
every
was
day.
there's a bowl of soup. The eggs are on like a small like dish. It's not like a mountain of protein. She wouldn't jam that in your system. She knows that if you introduce a new nutrient to someone, they'll fucking collapse. He doesn't want to be responsible for any more death, you know?
All right. Sounds like everybody has a particularly delicious, if somewhat awkward, meal together. Anything else you want to go over before you wrap up the meal?
Just confirming that we're gonna go over to our boss to, finalize the contract. Yeah, tell him everything that we saw, so that Venom Spite doesn't break down the walls.
Yes. I think we need to wrap this up as soon as we can.
Yep. All right. Just, gotta remember, wash the dishes and clean up when we're done.
I'm sure there's someone that could do that for us, you know.
Yeah, but we made this, If we're gonna act like this is the new norm, we've gotta play it out. She says, taking
Also,
her
I'm
dishes
pretty
over to the
sure
sink.
these all disappear when we leave. It's all kind of magical.
See, the beautiful thing about acting there, Cliffy boy, I don't know if you've been to a play, Paige took me to one of them fancy ones, is you act. And whether these plates are gonna stay here or, disappear into space, I'm gonna play it out like I normally would. And she goes over to the sink and starts cleaning them.
Bit of it, so Paige will pick up hers and follow along.
Kliff and Jubilee over here with, is this some kind of peasant activity I'm too rich to understand?
Yeah, she looks, pretty visibly confused as to how she should proceed.
You can just bring it up here, darling. You two can just bring your dishes up here. I'll take care of it.
Okay. Well, it doesn't feel right making you do it.
I mean, when we eventually get a place of our own, I'm assuming everyone will do their own fair share of chores, yeah? You two have done chores before, right?
I did used to live on a street, so there weren't really many chores to do there. And then I moved into a palace, where all the chores were taken care of. So, no.
Well, think of a cleaning lesson. Paige can, or I can help someone dry, and someone can help us with the washing.
Yeah. So Says actually looks like shocked, like, what the fuck? How big is this wealth disparity?
Capitalism!
Oh god. Hammer and sickle says when. Alright.
Jubilee picking up a sponge and so gently scrubbing at her plate. Like, it is not effective whatsoever. It's just mushing food around.
Oh, you know what? It's time to pull a Mistwalkers and give shipping material. It says it's gonna walk up behind Jubilee and put her hands over hers to help her with the scrubbing, to show her how it's done.
Oh.
I'm more confused on why there's a sink in this dining room.
Because I wanted it to be there. That's how this room works, yeah?
I guess they did say you could have anything you want in a room, and if you want a sink, they'll give you a sink.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, Jubilee, that's how you get it done, alright? Don't be afraid to be a little forceful. Some of those grease stains are tough to get out, okay?
Okay.
And make sure when you're done, and Says reaches into her bag and pulls out obviously not a fancy bottle, but a nice little bottle of moisturizer. Is washing dishes can dry up your skin, it can hurt your skin. Just put this on afterwards to take care of it, okay?
Oh, thank you. She's gonna apply more force, but it's too much. The plate just cracks.
That's okay. Baby steps. Listen, that's a mistake. And you know what we do with mistakes? We look at them, we think about them, and then she fucking yeets it across the room. And it fucking breaks against the wall. And we don't think about them after that.
You see
Try another one.
A spirit appears and starts cleaning up the plate.
No, this place is wild.
It's a good thing our bill is comped. Yeah, Jubilee, why don't you dry and I'll wash?
Okay.
Paige is going to be standing next to Kliff, just kind of observing. making sure he's doing it correctly.
Going back to being way too gentle.
Oh,
They're
it's happening.
learning.
Look over at Paige and like, I've watched things before. You don't have to worry too badly.
That's okay. This is more for me.
So you just enjoy watching people do dishes. You love the superiority complex it gives you.
No, that's not what I was thinking at all.
Oh yes, all high and mighty powerful kitty cat.
Says is like breaking down laughing here. I'm sorry,
Wait.
go ahead.
No. She's like,
Paige, I didn't know you had such a mean streak.
Olivia.
wait. I didn't mean to. Oh, I'm so sorry. Do we have a vase anywhere?
Oh yes, and now she's trying to show off her wealth.
I knew one touch of wealth would corrupt us, and she's like taking out a handkerchief, wiping her like fake tears. Like, oh no,
Oh,
I'm already
please.
losing my sister.
Jubilee,
No.
I do believe we are in trouble. She is coming for us. The new money is here.
Oh,
like,
God,
it
spare
just-
us from the Nova Riche.
She's like
It's a fancy
frantically
word.
pushing up her glasses, like in a nervous habit.
It is fine. Yeah. I will go ahead and there, all done. Now, we should probably go stop a war.
Yeah. All right, that should take care of everything. All right, no one forgot anything, by the way. Are we done at the inn when we go report this?
I think they had cleaned up your plate, so we are good. Oh,
Okay,
Jubilee,
okay.
yeah. Notice that her hands are still wet, so I go ahead and help her dry them off, and then I'm like, all right, let's go.
All right, DM. I think that means we're ready to go talk to the cat after all that.
Okay, after all of that, you guys grab your equipment, head out the Gold Dragon Inn. The smiling little halfling, looks he goes,
Thank you for your stay, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you'll patron the Gold Dragon Inn again in the future.
We certainly fabulous stay. Thank you so kindly.
she will curtsy deeply in her little pencil skirt suit.
Jubilee, whatever happened to your two retainers?
3 retainers to be exact, but she has never messaged me.
Good question.
They're still at the train station.
I'm still
Yeah.
at the train station with all my luggage.
They've just actually just been riding a train continuously because they were never told to get off.
They were in the luggage compartment the whole time. Be like, where's Lady Jubilee?
Well, I wasn't in the correct train car because I went chasing after you, Mr. Macaroon Crusher, so,
Oh, y'all cracked me up. Retainers, like you would leave you'd leave 3 people behind like that. No way that's happening.
Oh,
Anyways,
shoot.
wait, what?
I'll worry about that later. I'm sure they're
You're welcome.
fine.
Think of it as a mini vacation. But
Yeah.
after all, trains are luxurious to stay on. And we make our...
boss.
That's basically the way we were talking as we go to the actual place we need to go.
Okay. As you leave the Gold Dragon Inn, there is definitely a tension in the air of the whole international enclave. You see all of those hardened mercenaries and sellswords and spell slingers. You see all of them kind of getting into positions, like basically barricading and fortifying various businesses and stuff. There's not many people walking the streets currently, and those who do are basically very quickly moving from location to location, many of which have mostly Brailish mercenaries with them as they do it. And you definitely feel that kind of palpable tension of conflict in the air. As you approach the House Thrash Tower, which is also full of that tension, as you see like squads of 5 or 6 guards wearing the heraldry of House Thrash, leaving the tower in full equipment, and they look to be very frazzled by what's going on, but they're apparently trying to run around and try and get people off the streets and stuff. And as you enter, they don't really give you guys a second look since you guys have the badges. And as you enter the tower, everybody in here is in full battle rattle. You see people are either putting on their equipment, sharpening their weapons, basically tuning up their wands, etc., as they are leaving for presumably fortifications along the wall between them and Greywall itself. That same Twinkie half-orc is behind his receptionist desk, although he's wearing, instead of his normal civilian attire, he's wearing like a light suit of armor, which seems to be not exactly made for him. It's like they had one on hand and they gave it to him. It's a little too tight. And he gives you guys a very kind of, it appears to be very forced smile. And he goes, welcome back. I apologize for the atmosphere here, but as you are no doubt aware, things are very tense right now, so I'd advise you make it quick or get to someplace safe.
Oh, we're actually here to turn in the quest to make sure that the reason why there may be an attack is no longer going to happen. So, we'll be going to that office, and I remember, we will knock.
His mouth kind of opens and closes a couple times in shock as his pearly white teeth and tusks shine out. Yes, you need to go talk to Chief Inspector Kranzahar immediately. This could change everything.
I'm already walking that way.
And he starts frantically typing on his Arcano Scribe as you guys can head up to her office on the elevator. As you go up, you see her door is once again slightly ajar. From behind it, you hear a lot of cursing in Goblin and what sounds to be the clattering of armor and stuff and the falling of papers, etc. And
I knock.
You get that heavy reek of cigarette smoke and stale coffee once more. And unwashed orc girl. That's a musk for you.
New perfume.
Some people would pay for that.
I know people in this chat that would pay for that.
Orc girl bathwater.
Yes.
Oh no.
Hello, maybe come in.
You hear some cursing in Goblin, and he goes, yeah, get in here.
I'll walk in.
As you see her trying to squeeze on one of her gauntlets as she's wearing her full armor. Her hair is no longer in its raggedy bun, but has been basically pulled back into a braid. The dark circles under her eyes basically look like somebody painted half moons on her face, as she has a half-burned cigarette hanging out of her mouth, as she is mumbling through it with that same stylized battle axe you saw previously on her hip and a shield on her back with the House Tharashk symbol on it, as she is trying to squeeze on the rest of her armor. You lot better have some good news for me right now, or I'm about to go kill a lot of people.
Children were returned to the parents. The kidnappers were found, and kidnappers, sadly, died in a fire.
You see her blink a couple times as she's mid-gauntlet donning, and the cigarette drops out of her mouth onto the ground. She turns.
Careful, we don't want another fire.
She turns her head slowly to look at you. You did it?
You don't have to sound so surprised.
When did you get them all? When did you finish?
Last night, at a respectable hour.
And you see her eyes just go very narrow. She looks at you, and you didn't feel the need to tell me?
Well, we sent a message ahead.
Also, we were kind of dying, and we kind of figured that with the fact that the warehouse district was on fire. The news might have reached you. You know.
It would have been disturbed so late, too.
Her left eye starts twitching as she stomps over to her desk and just like, with one broad sweep of her arm, just like knocks over all the papers and evidence that were accumulated on it. And you see underneath it there is there's a scrying stone, or a sending stone, I mean. And you see her pick it up and she presses a rune on it and starts shouting in Goblin. And you hear the voice of your little half-orc receptionist, like, quickly trying to speak back in Goblin and getting cut off every time. And then you hear her swear some more as she starts looking around her desk, and buried under one of the... I can
understand all of it, by the way.
What?
I speak Goblin, I understand.
Oh yeah, she's just like yelling at him, basically. Being like, where the fuck is that report? They said they sent a messenger here. And you hear him go, yes, I sent it to you. I made sure that it was put on your desk.
Look at the paper she's knocked off the desk.
Oh, no!
No, you see it's covered in ash because she uses an ashtray.
Yeah, and you see under a pile of papers, and like half with a piece of paper which appears that there was a coffee mug that spilled at one point onto her desk. She pulls it up and she holds it up to the light and looks at it and squints a bit, and she immediately slams down the sending stone. Goes, all right, I apparently there was issues in the communication process, but I have some information I can very quickly convey. And she picks up the sending stone again, and you hear the little half-orc go, yes, Chief Inspector Krozar? And she goes, why did you hang up on me? And she goes, but you hung up on... And she goes, enough with your excuses. Get House to Civis. Tell them to tell everybody in town I need to get an immediate message over to Captain Venom Spite. Tell them to stand down. We found the kids.
Also, may I recommend getting a filing cabinet?
One of her eyes is gracing you with a glare as she is shouting into the sending stone. And then you hear that, yes, I'll be right on that. And she hangs up on him again. And you see her just kind of stand there for a moment, and she looks like she just has an enormous burden on her hefty shoulders lifted as she flops down into her office chair, and you hear the screws on it begin to pop out of place underneath the weight of her armor. As she looks down at her desk for a moment, takes off her gauntlets, and starts kind of pulling some stray hair out of her eyes as she looks and goes, thank the host. Thank you. Thank you for finding them. What happened in more detail?
Well, and I pull out a small sheet of paper that has like the Charlie clipboard, just line of thorns over. We followed this lead, followed by that lead, followed by this lead, followed by this lead, and eventually we stumbled upon this.
Do you mention your interactions with the Harlequin?
Yeah, I don't think Kliff would leave that out.
Okay.
Harlequin's the crazy mage lady, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so she goes, all right, so you return them all to their homes? That's good. None of them were seriously harmed. Oh, thank the host. Thank all of the host. All right. Once I get the word back that Venom Spite's gonna stand down, I'll see that you all get paid. you all are pretty new at this, so I just wanted to let you all know that I'm involved with a lot of things above your pay grade, and I can assure you that whatever money you get from this, I hope it's worth it to you, but know that you've saved a lot of lives today.
It'll help me sleep at night.
That does mean a whole lot. Thank you for saying that.
You hear the sending stone begins to chirp a song, which is very, very similar to what you would say would probably be some kind of pop tune, as it is vibrating on her desk, and she presses the runes on it again, picks it up, and you hear the half-orc's voice again. Yes, Captain Venomspite was aware. Apparently, she was informed last night by Lady Cryotrixia. And the orc once again looks at you guys and shakes her head.
Again, finally, Captain.
We're efficient.
We probably should have come and addressed it first, though. Maybe in person would have been a little bit better.
But we also didn't want to bleed on your floors.
I didn't want to bleed in general.
She grits her very yellow-stained teeth and tusks as she goes, all right, so be it. Now we can start having our enforcers go get those fucking mercenaries out of this goddamn settlement. Last thing we need is a bunch of loose cannons extra angry about how they're not getting paid to go kill some of the locals. All right, see that they get paid when they leave my office. And the half-orc goes, yes, Chief, it's back. And then she probably hangs up on him again.
Guy.
This kid needs a pay raise.
Unpaid intern.
Oh no!
And
the young man downstairs did an excellent job in escorting us in what he needed to do. Perhaps you should congratulate him on that at least. Tell him good job, and it will help reinforce the good he's done.
She grunts and she goes, I'll put it in his performance evaluation.
I'm just saying, a good job from you can go a long way.
She grumbles and she says an arcane phrase, and you see your guys' contracts that you signed appear before her once again. She has a House Thrash signet ring that she then promptly says an arcane word as she stamps into each of them, and you see the contracts begin to disintegrate. And then each of you feels an incredible tension that you didn't realize was kind of sitting in your back release as the Giaz from the quest is released. She goes, you got the information about what happened? You saved the kids? 200 gold each when you get downstairs.
I jokingly elbow Paige and whisper you see, that was her making sure that we actually get our souls back.
Souls? Hold on, I didn't read that anywhere in the contract.
Yes, don't you know all magical contracts are made with your soul?
Are you certain?
I just give a grin. It's no, I'm obviously joking. Kind of grin.
Mm-hmm. Her ears go back and she kind of puffs out her cheeks a little bit.
All right, well, if there's no further business, she'll stand back up behind her desk. You hear, as she stands up, the chair creaks once more, and you hear a snapping sound as it breaks in half behind her. And she sighs very exasperatedly. She then walks over to each of you, puts one hand on your shoulder, and will shake each of your hands.
I'm extra cautious when I shake hers so she doesn't try and crush my hand again.
Yeah, she does give you a very firm grip, but she's not trying to hurt you this time. And she goes, all right, you did well. I've got to go disarm a populace.
We have dinner later today, but until then, I believe we are all free to do what we wish.
I'll be sure to tell the directorate about your service and your performance.
Thank you. And ma'am, now you get some rest.
If only it were that easy. As she starts escorting you out of her office, she lights another cigarette, and she picks up...
they sell sleeping pills now at the store. They put every little sleep spell in one little tiny little capsule.
She picks up a half-drink coffee mug on the way out, and as you guys see her pick it up and begin to drink from it, you see that it is also full of ashes that she does not realize until she's taken the first sip.
I think you might have a problem, but you may need to seek help for that.
I don't think that digests well.
You see that moment of tasting the ashes mixed with the coffee, swishes it around her mouth a couple times, and she just spits on her floor as she walks out.
I guess we see we didn't need to worry about the blood after all.
I suppose not.
And we start walking downstairs.
As you get downstairs, you see the receptionist stands up and tries to do the most forced, awkward smile around his very mean boss. And he reaches into a dimensional space and pulls out some sacks of money and goes, this has been accounted for by the banking house, and it should all be 200 gold each. Thank you all so much for your service and for what you've done for the international settlement and what you've done for the city.
Thank you for doing such a lovely job.
Yes.
We're just gonna carry this cat. Wait. Important. Is this documented by the banking house?
Yes. If you ever want confirmations as to how much money the directorate has paid you and when it was distributed, you can always consult with a representative of the house.
Do you do direct deposit?
Well, if you would rather have your money stored in a dimensional account with the banking house, that can be arranged. And you see Urlock walks by and kind of pats him on the shoulder pretty hard, and he kind of loses his balance a little bit under the weight of her strength because he's such a Twinkie half-orc. As she starts barking orders to the rest of the guards present about how they're going to go disarm all those fucking mercenaries, and leaving the receptionist alone here. As he goes, so would you rather have direct deposit, or would you like the money?
I think we're good. Or at least I think I'm good. The rest of you
Says have a bank account, so yeah.
Oh, okay then. I hope you enjoy your newfound riches. And I just he will kind of run up and is going to give Kliff a hug. I'd be like, you people are so nice. Thank you all so much.
As he's giving Kliff a hug, he whispers like, the boss didn't want you to hear this, but that she was actually very pleased with your work today.
Really?
Quite. She's very proud of you.
And his very light green skin, which is almost basically like an olive color, you see a little pinkening on his cheeks and the tips of his pointed ears.
Now shh. Don't tell her I told you.
Or else she'll hurt me. I know.
No. She doesn't want you to know, so just keep it low, but know that she likes you.
And he nods and gives you all a very genuine, big, pearly white smile.
Keep your head up, kid.
Yes, thank you, Zagrin.
And he goes, "You remembered my name."
Oh, of course, yes. You're very important to us too.
Thank you. If you're ever back here, and I'd be honored if I could buy you all a drink, or I guess you could buy me a drink. As he looks at the 800 gold he just gave you guys.
I mean, well, hold on. We're going to a feast to celebrate, right, guys? I mean, we could bring guests, yeah?
I don't know if the mother would appreciate unmentioned guests, but
Understand.
if ever we do go drinking in the city, you are free to come. We can play darts together.
He smiles. Goes, "Absolutely, thank you. I have a lot of paperwork I need to do now. So I
Yeah, give me your sending number. We can text.
And he kind of like awkwardly giggles at that. Yeah, you are officially released from your contract. I'd advise you take your belongings out of the Gold Dragon Inn, and the best of luck on your future employment."
And as we're leaving, I turn to the others. Well, we have quite some time until dinner tonight, so I suppose the city is ours to do with. Jubilee, would you be so kind as to accompany me? I have something I wish to look for, and I would enjoy your help in doing so.
She's going to look to Cess and Paige and say, "You two okay on your own for a bit?"
Actually, I was thinking, we're kind of in these, points to ripped up rags. I was wondering, I mean, Jubilee as the only other one here with a sense of fashion, maybe you and I could, get some ensembles together for the group.
You want to go shopping?
Yes.
You see her
Suddenly
eyes,
looking at
her
Paige.
eyes visibly light up, kind of like that one, like Doki Doki character from Gravity Falls with like all of the big eye sparkles in her eyes.
I mean, my school uniform is fine, but
Listen.
Oh,
listen,
darling,
listen.
no. You can't go to the party wearing that. I'm sorry. You're adorable, but no. No.
I thought it looked fancy.
It looks great on you. You work it so well, but I gotta save you from showing up wearing that. I can't let that sit on my conscience.
I guess it did get a little ripped up during the battle, but
Paige, don't you worry. You and your sister, you can come with us, and we are going to make you the belles of the ball, all right?
Just one quick note. I mean, I'd like for us to go together, if possible. All of us, including Kliff. But if we could make a quick stop at the bank, just to deposit a fair amount of our earnings. I can't imagine that we'd be buying any several hundred gold dresses now, will we?
No, of course not. Thinking back to her walk-in closet right now.
Looking at the two poor cats in rags.
I automatically know what Jubilee's thinking of, and I'm like, that green one does look good, though.
Oh, it does, doesn't it?
Right, I feel like 20 gold is enough, right? That's a lot.
Oh yeah, down at Crazy Earl's bargain bins, like those designer dresses that was 5
That's
gold,
right.
Not that
Yes.
much, yeah.
Mm-mm.
I'd put a
Jubilee's
Jubilee's
hand on
just got her
Jubilee's
lips
shoulder in
very
support.
pursed. She's got her lips so pursed. She's just got this polite smile, like,
Put a hand on Jubilee's shoulder in support, like, you're getting through this, you can do it.
Right, so, well, why don't we start off all together? Because, and she'll look back to Kliff. These two might need a little, advice. So, we could start off, all together as a group, go to the bank, start our shopping trip, and Kliff, whatever it is that you're looking for, you just let me know, okay?
One moment. As I look around for a more private location.
Well, you're currently in the House Thrash Tower.
I thought we had left.
they
I
got
thought
a
we were
restroom.
like,
All
I
right,
thought
so
we
you
were in
guys
the
just
street.
left the House Thrash Tower, so you're standing
Yeah, I thought
outside
we were
of it.
in the streets at this point. We were
Yeah.
walking and talking. Yeah, but like, can I like look around? Can I like find like a private alleyway or anything?
Sure.
Just a moment. I'll be right back. As I go where no one else can see, and I change into something else. As I quickly change my reactive.
Bum bum bum. Ooh, we have a totally different Kliff now.
Coming
Well,
out,
waiting
you
for an
notice very similar clothing to Kliff's. However, the vest has been turned inside out to a more muddy brown, and the shiny silver armor that was on him has been packed away into his bag, looking more like just plain commoner's clothing. The hair now, rather than that fluffy pink, fluff cotton candy pink, is now more of a flowing sky blue. And you're not quite sure whether this form is male or female, almost like a mix between the two. You may not even know that this is nobody until they come right up to you. Their pendant and everything indicating who they are now gone. I apologize for that.
Do y'all know this guy?
Oh,
I
That's-
see. I think what you said yesterday really got to me. I think it would be good to take a break from being Kliff for a while. Maybe find out something more about myself. So, we're going clothes shopping, right? And while Kliff was very short, this new transformation is actually quite tall, around like, I want to say like, hold on, I'll roll a random number.
Quite tall, actually, 4'3".
Around 6'3".
Oh man,
My
you are now
God.
towering over the party. Jubilee is now the shortest one here.
oh no.
So small.
Small gang.
Well-
small gang.
Well, what should we call you then?
I don't know.
Well,
I was a nobody before. And I was Kliff.
well,
And
It
now
doesn't
I'm... He just shrugs. They just shrug.
well, it doesn't feel right calling you nobody. I mean, it's regardless of your circumstances, you're not nobody. So, while we're shopping for clothes, maybe You could shop around for a name. Let us know what you like.
So you can help me find Jubilee. Let's go to the bank and deposit what we want. And then you can dress all us up in like dolls like you usually do.
A little old for dolls, but yeah, let's go.
All right. As you guys head to the bank, which is actually it's a small, basically boutique connected to the House Orion Lightning Rail Station, along with the House Civis Communications Tower. You see, like most of the people that are not as big as House Thrash are generally, or the House Thrash here are generally tied to the Lightning Rail Station as a kind of communal thing, especially because a lot of them are involved in commerce and communication with the greater kingdoms and stuff. So there is a small House Kundarik, is the banking dragon-marked house. It's a dwarven dragon-marked house that has a small boutique by the train station. When you arrive, there is a single male dwarf with spectacles, wearing a very, very fine three-piece suit and pocket watch, and he is got several sending stones around him, as well as you see scrying screens behind him that list various numbers with pluses or minuses, and you see various names like it'll have like the Brailish currency and then the Karnathi currency and stuff. All these different currencies of the different countries all running behind him, and as he sees you all approach, he looks up. He's got a very immaculately braided red beard, complete with dwarven, finely sculpted gem and stone carvings woven into it. He looks up. How can I help you?
We're trying to deposit some money? That's why we're here, right?
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. And how much would you like to deposit? Do you already have an existing account?
Me and my sister have an account. Just to be clear, DM, we're separate, right?
You're all paid separately. So
Litro, I mean, Kliff and Jubilee can't see your PIN account. Is what I'm saying.
No.
Right?
Administratively, you all have your own independent bank accounts that the director created for you for direct deposit purposes, if you are inclined to use them. So.
All right, well, me and my sister, we have a joint account, and I have a personal account I'd like to check on as well.
Of course. Please provide your hands to me momentarily.
Yep.
And he holds out his hand, and he's got a little wand in it, and he passes it over your palm, and you see that there is a piece of paper that appears in front of you that is written in an arcane script only you can read. And this is for everybody. This will happen for everybody, for your accounts. Mm-hmm. It is for those of you who don't know, House Kundarik is the dragon-marked house of security and banking. They're the preeminent people for ensuring your financials never get discovered by the government. They are the Swiss. Oh yeah, you have papers. It currently says 0.
Yep. I know Sez has a personal account. Paige, are you happy with just the joint account that you have?
Yeah, I figured they would have a joint account.
Yeah. Okay. All right, sis. So 50 gold each should be enough, and then we can withdraw from that when we get home for rent and stuff.
Yeah, that sounds good. I think it's a reasonable amount.
All right. Says tosses in 50, pushes 50 gold towards the man, realizing tossing 50 gold pieces is kind of insane.
So you're gonna keep 150 on you?
I'll get into that in a second, DM, because I didn't spend all of the starting gold you gave us.
Oh, well, you bought some magic items, if I recall.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Some, but I still.
You have some of your starting money left. Okay, so is it 50 gold each that you're putting in?
Yes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you push forward 100 gold for him. He takes it and he waves that's a different wand this time over the 100 gold, and you see it disappear in front of you. And the papers that were provided to you have an updated number put on with them, as well as the house Kundarik seal showing the authenticity of it, so you know it's not forged. Your statement will be destroyed upon your departure if you are so inclined.
That sounds good, yeah? Not carrying around bank papers with us, yeah?
That would be fine.
And as for you two, do you wish to deposit anything?
No, I believe I'm good.
I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for doing business with House Kundarik.
I still have my personal account I got deposited in Luxembourg page. I mean, I got to pay for that vacation somehow, yeah?
I mean, I can help with that.
Don't worry about it, Paige. Now, you three can wait outside, because this is, a personal account. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Are you... Okay, yeah, sure.
I'll be fine. Don't worry.
Okay,
The body starts to walk out of the room, twirling the long blue locks they now have.
Okay, but if they say something you don't understand, just ask them to elaborate.
Listen, I got Josie from down the block to walk me through the process, so I wouldn't have to need you anymore, sis. I'm not doing that stock market I'm trying to think of a fantasy word for cryptocurrency. I'm not doing that Electrum scam thing either that cousin Joey talked about. Don't worry about it.
Fucking Electrum.
Alright. I'm assuming Says is by herself with the official now.
Yeah. At this point, it would just be you and the clerk.
Alright, well, we don't have to roleplay this too much. Personal account, I'm assuming there's like it would be okay for Says to have like a safety deposit box.
Yeah, that's fine. It would exist in a House Kundarik facility, in the Roar Holds, which is basically the Dwarven country. But if you ever need to access it, they can dimensional rift it to any House Kundarik facility in Kovere.
Well, if it's like not too much trouble, so we'll just ask to see it, double check that everything's in there, things like the parents' wedding rings, other important valuables like that before setting that aside, and then for a personal account, Says is going to put 100 gold down.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nod, takes out his wand again, and you see it disappear.
Okay. Thank you for your services. You take care now. Says.
Of course, Miss Sess. Of course. And
right.
Yeah, you've back to. I love this is the real Eberron D&D experience. It's managing your business banking accounts.
I don't know when like banking will matter, but it's gonna matter at some point. And me and Paige are gonna be ready for it.
Meanwhile, outside, nobody's just like, so what about this voice? Does this voice sound alright for this party? Or should I go with something more like this, where I talk a bit more naturally and without really any kind of stress to it?
I don't know. I guess, how would you speak if you weren't trying?
I don't... kind of grew up on the streets, not really talking that much. And then when I did started talking, I was just imitating what I was supposed to. Never really tried talking on my own, really doing anything. Other than the voice in my head, but the voice in my head didn't really do it too well.
Imagine the voice in your head a little younger than you probably are, huh?
It's quite strange, I must say. Not really quite sure what really. Kind of why I want to go off with you, Jubilee.
Does quite
Hopefully, so
sound
you can.
like her in some sense.
Kind of why I was hoping to go off with Jubilee is she's known me the longest, so I was hoping myself and her going off alone, she could help me find my true self. Without me having to rely on copying others.
Well, like Sess was saying, if we want to be a team, it doesn't have to just be, well, me that you rely on.
And it's
You know?
true. But I was also kind of just hoping to make it up to you while we were out. I feel like I have a lot to apologize to you.
Sure,
I
but
want to make things right. I want to make sure you have a great and happy day.
well, it'll come with time. So, don't worry too much about that, and let's just focus on what we wanted to do today, and let's get ready for a party thrown for us, for our accomplishments, and we should be proud of that and have a good time, right?
I suppose so. And we're probably about to do one of your favorite things.
Been a while since I've had a moment of downtime to pick out something new. I'm a little excited.
What do you think will go great with this dress? Or what do you think will go great with this new color hair?
Well, used to always just wear pink. I like the blue. So, maybe if that's a hair color you like, maybe you should wear something that draws attention to it. You could wear, I don't know, all white or all black, something to make the blue stand out.
Slim black dress for a tall figure.
Always works.
Trusting your eye for fashion.
Age, what about you? What do you like?
I like, you mean in terms of fashion? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, when you get all dolled up, what do you like to wear?
Well, I haven't really gotten too many opportunities to. I believe my mother let me wear one of her old dresses that was passed down. It was long. I think it had a little slit in it. It may have been a little embarrassing to wear, actually, when I think back on it. But I felt really nice in it.
And she'll sort of eye you up and down, not in like a judgmental way, but like a fashionista mentally picturing her canvas sort of way. Yeah. I think you got some great legs underneath that. I think we can work with that.
I mean, I can't run very fast, so I guess you could say that.
Oh, you're saying the kitty can strut.
I think she could.
Mm. I could always give it a try. I mean,
Do we know the
it's-
dress code for this dinner, by the way?
Oh, I didn't think to ask, but I assume it's
I don't
always
know if
better
it's-
to show up overdressed and underdressed.
I don't know if it's meant to be something casual or something real fancy.
Perhaps I should have inquired.
Well, if it's just us and the mother and the kid, I don't feel like we need to dress up too much to show off. Save that for another day when we go off chatting up the other nobles.
Right.
Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be able to dress up in us all the expensive dresses you want later.
You can see her like mentally reconfiguring her plans.
Hell, now that you know my little secret, I could be your mannequin whenever you need.
I suppose that's true. I hadn't really thought about it.
You two are very strange together.
Oh.
A little bit of pink appears on nobody's cheeks.
I've definitely read about this before.
I'm assuming this is the most awkward part for
Yes,
Cess to walk
this is, of
back
course,
into.
comedic timing requires you to come out at this moment.
2 fistfuls of free quills from the bank. Hands one to Paige. Yo, they were just giving these out. This
Oh
is
goodness!
nice.
Oh,
Puts
this is
on their
so
own statue.
wonderful.
Yeah.
This is really nice quality.
The quill says House Kundarak on it.
Looks over to the left and like sees Kliff and Jubilee blush. Like, did I miss something important, Paige?
No, just shopping plans.
Oh, well, sick. Anyways, let's go to that. What do you fancy people call it? A boutique?
Yes, a boutique.
Yeah, sounds nice.
Now, Cess, darling, what do you like to wear when you get all dolled up?
Well, usually I stick with the darker colors. You know, they complement really well since my skin color and hair, you know, they kind of stick out, especially with the yellow eyes. If we're doing a dinner, there's going to be a night backdrop, and it sort of boils down to the full fashionista conversation of what to consider while they're walking to the boutique.
Which is probably pretty surprising for the group, minus Paige, because, you know, mostly Cess has talked about, you know, being sassy and poor.
Listen, I can look fashionable on a budget. It's called thrifting.
Thrifting and
look good for-
DIY, baby.
She had to look
Window
good for all of her
shopping.
wrestler entrances.
Yeah. Listen, sometimes a few patrons identify wrestlers they'd like to, you know, give gifts to, maybe invite out to dinner, and, you know, I ain't gonna say no to free crab rangoon, but I gotta look good while eating it, you know?
I respect that. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Like visible steam coming off of Paige's head, trying to comprehend fashion talk.
Jubilee and Cess just arm in arm talking fashion.
This is the party dynamic we crave.
You noted my sister's legs, right? I've been trying to get her to show them off more, but, you know, she's preferring the tights and stuff. Maybe we could get, like, thigh highs or something to
Oh
complement
my
them.
goodness,
Nice and subtle.
absolutely, yes. She was talking about a dress that she used to try on with one of your mother's dresses with the slit down the front, and oh my goodness, I think that would just be divine.
I remember she would put on a Ma's high heels too, and her feet wouldn't fit, so she would like clop around the house.
Oh, that is just
We are discussing this, Cess.
Oh, come on! Don't act like you're not gonna tell funny stories about me later.
Yes,
Alright.
definitely have a few. You coming back to the house unrecognizable and scaring me to death. The bruises on your face.
Oh god.
Oh, don't worry, Paige. While they're talking fashion, I can teach you how to strut. Now, you want to hold your hips like this, and you're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2.
Like this?
Yeah. And we're both just showing off our legs as we
Sashaying
together.
Running down the street.
Yeah. You, as you're...
We got Elegant Kitty and Tall Beautiful Elf.
As you were strutting down, you see various House Thrash guards are basically going up to all the different businesses and going in and basically calling out the business owners that, the mercenaries will not be needed and will in fact be promptly dismissed from the International Enclave, either of their own volition or under House Thrash's purview. Complete with blacklisting for all future employment with House Thrash. And so you see some mercenaries actually... You see the chief inspector rolls up into a place and she's got 2 mercenaries by the scruff of their necks as she tosses them into the street, handing their weapons off to one of her soldiers. And she appears to enjoy this prospect of the job. But yeah, that's mostly what's going on. You do arrive, since this area is mostly dealing with traders. They don't really have much in the fashionistas, but there's a single small boutique that does higher end clothing for probably the merchants in town when they're dealing with each other and don't want to leave to go all the way to Ardev to get better clothes. So there is a half-elf running the boutique, which is called Severin's. And it's written in very flowing common alphabet. It's basically if you wrote common in the style of Elven.
Oh, and because I see them in the chat again, hello, Mom Humana, also known as Loon. They were the person that did this art. Saying it once, saying it again. Go check them out. They did this art. Go and commission them. Here's a link to their Twitter.
Thank you. Yes, be sure to check out Luna. She's a very good bean. And so, as you arrive in, you see a half-elf just kind of looking out the windows as you guys are approaching. And he mostly is looking at all the business going on with House Thrash and the mercenaries. But he sees you all approach and sees that you're actually trying to come into the store. And he kind of panics and starts pressing his clothes and stuff to get out any crinkles or anything. He has just an immaculately flowing braid of auburn-colored hair, and he gives you a bright, glittering, green-eyed smile. Welcome to Severin's. How may I be of service?
Hi there. We're attending a sort of dinner party this evening, and we're looking for something fresh to wear for the occasion.
Oh, a dinner party amongst these trying times. That is, I admire your gumption. Would you by chance be able to tell me the atmosphere that you will be approaching this evening?
Well, a sort of
Private.
private event, a celebration, celebrating some well-deserved accolades, I suppose you could say.
Interesting. All right. Well, will you all be requiring new garments and attire?
Yes, preferably.
Excellent. As he gives you a big old smile and takes out a measuring tape. And he goes, oh, if you could just file out here into the back, I will address each of you one by one. And he will in turn take measurements of everybody, and he as he looks up at Paige as he's doing her legs and inseam, looks up and goes, By the way, miss, you have the most gorgeous legs. Why are you hiding them?
Face is so red. It gets cold outside at times.
I'm sure that your fur will keep you incredibly comfy. I think that it just needs a little bit of silk to tuck it in. And,
Silk? Oh man.
Nobody now having to remember all these measurements for when they do this form again.
Yes, and he will go about doing measurements. I don't know enough about fashion for all of you to be able to describe how he would do it. But he will dress you in attire of your choosing that you think complements you the best.
Really quick, because I assume this was gonna be one of those fashion stores where we get to like pick out clothes and
Yes,
have
yes,
them
yes.
like tailor made for us.
Yes.
It says it's in the changing room trying it on. It's like, you know what, Jubilee, can you come in here for a second? I can't exactly reach these back straps.
Of course. I got you.
Oh, and Paige, make sure Kliff isn't listening in. I've already ruined several people's manhoods. I'll ruin his too if he's listening.
Sure. Kliff, why don't we go to the opposite side of the store?
Listen, dirty fighting in the pit means you know it's kill or be killed. You know, sometimes you just gotta do it to him.
Listen, I understand entirely.
You like come in and see Says doing like you know the whole bodybuilder thing where they can't reach like a part of their back. It's like that.
No,
Look, this-
okay, hold on. Don't bust this. Don't bust the zipper. I got you.
You get to see
Yeah,
how
get it.
truly ripped Cess is, and just all of the scars that she has all over her body, and her very taut, strong muscles.
Noted.
All right. I wasn't ready for this to be a fan service scene, but you know, since you guys aren't getting Tate's abs for quite a bit, this will do.
No.
Listen, Jubilee, I called you in here for more than just, you know, that clothing help. She says as you're like still zipping and like tying the laces back.
Oh, do you need another size?
No. This is tailored. This fits. I think. You know,
It does
it's
look
his.
great.
It's his job to work with what I got. I don't need to hide anything. You know, she's like putting on like the hip scarf right now and the hip skirt. Listen. That box you gave to Kliff, is that what I think it is?
Oh, I suppose assumptions could be made, yes.
I'm not gonna put pressure on whatever decision you make going forth, but listen, I'm not gonna bore you with my stories, but as someone who's been where Kliff is to you right now with other people, who's lost out on things with other people because they had to show a side of themselves they didn't want to show off. Listen, I'm just saying it. If this group thing is gonna happen, you're gonna have to give him a chance, a trial, you know. I'm not saying forgive him. She turns around looking at her very seriously. You don't have to forgive him. Better yet, hold that over the rest of his head for the rest of his life for funsies. Who cares? But if you want things to get better, if you want us to work as a group, you understand that you're gonna have to accept this new fact of his life, right?
Yeah, I know.
I've go ahead.
Well, it's hard, you know. I think things can get better. I know they'll never be what they were, and well, Kliff and I our relationship's always been complicated, I guess you could say, but We haven't always exactly been the nicest to each other, but it's just hard, because I really thought that, well, I suppose that doesn't really matter much now, does it? But
Listen, there was a time when I had, and she turns back around to like not show you her face. I had that kind of box thrown at me like that, and I'm not gonna get into specifics. I'm not gonna bore you with any story like that, but listen, if Kliff felt anything to you the way I felt when I had that box tossed at me, I hope to God he feels the same way, but I know he has nothing but the kindest of intentions for you. Like I said, don't forgive him. And I don't want you to, open up to someone who lied to you like that, but if he's feeling the way I felt, I know it's painful. That's all I'm asking you to consider. Just know that he's probably hurting the way you're hurting. The way that you both are losing out on a relationship you both cared about until a fact came up,
yeah.
Anyways, Jubilee, no matter what happens, she turns around, puts her hand on your shoulder. I've got your back, okay? You're part of this group, and eventually, I hope I can say this to you naturally, you'll be family, okay?
Thank you,
All right,
Sess.
Anytime. Now, she pulls up 2 headscarves. I couldn't decide on these, and just goes from there.
Meanwhile, outside, after Paige drew away nobody. So what did you mean earlier when you said that you read about that?
Oh, tension between relationships. Almost like a comedic thing. It was a romantic comedy that I read. Yes. About a dwarf and an elf who were part of a royal family. But, through tensions between family, it was hard for them, but they grew up together. Ended up falling in love with one another, but their relationship was complicated more so with family and, race issues.
And you see parallels between her and I in that story?
I do. Mostly the banter. I've noticed a lot of teasing amongst them. I see a lot of correlation between you and her, and it matches quite well, almost as if maybe you read the same one. But
No, I haven't. By the way, do not ever call her a dwarf. That would end very poorly.
oh, yes, right.
I mean, do you think it could be a thing?
I don't see why not. You have to go through certain, there's always a climax before there's a resolution. There's always had to be some sort of tension, but, you two have been friends for so long, I don't see why you can't overcome it.
Thing is, I don't know if she was my friend or Kliff's. But
Well,
I
you've
do
been
know
there
one
with
thing.
her.
Yeah. And she was possibly my favorite part of the day whenever I got to saw her.
I think those feelings are mutual. I mean, I can't speak for her at all, but the way I feel it, there's a term that people who read books, I've been in a few reading clubs before, they refer to the thing as, I don't know, some sort of boat term.
No. I'm sorry.
can't remember what it's called.
Nautical terminology.
But,
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, it's
After all,
an
books are weird. Books are their own thing.
right. It's
let's
more of
go
an
ahead and,
exclusive term.
Yeah, let's go ahead and figure out what we want to wear. Now, I'm thinking maybe a short skirt for you.
Maybe that's a little too revealing. She's actually gonna take a moment to, like a force of habit, to look and see if there are price tags.
There are not.
Oh no!
Nothing to worry about. I'm not talking about like short, but I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, maybe like a hand's length away from the knee.
She's like measuring it with her hands. Like, I suppose that's fine.
Yeah, see, we could show off, and then maybe some stockings as well, something to go well with your chamomile color.
Well, you're the expert. I am a bit at a loss of all of this, so.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but I know what makes people look good, at least.
Severin looks at you and goes, I think it's a good consideration for skirt, but what if we did a high slit dress? That way she can get the illusion of modesty while still being able to show herself what she wants whenever she wants.
Give you a little curtain to peek out whenever you're ready, whenever you're feeling up to it.
Jubilee, I feel a strange sense in the force. Jubilee.
Like what? Are you cold? Do you want like a little shrug to go with the dress?
Grab a shawl from my sister. I feel something ominous in the wind.
I think for myself, I want to go with something a bit more tight fitting. Show off this new form.
Excellent. Are you considering pants, perhaps a skirt, perhaps a dress?
Can you do both?
Both? Yes,
Yeah,
that could be arranged.
Excellent.
So you will have basically you have two options for this. You could either do one, having basically a skirt / pants, or B, it could be pants with like a built-in like half skirt for like the back. You know, you see like knights do that and stuff with their the clothes they wear underneath their armor and stuff. So you could do, those are your two options for what you're trying to go for.
I want pants, kind of like how you described with the knights on the back, but also like it has like a small little like button thing, so you can pull it around and put the skirt in the front as well with a small little button.
Okay, sounds good. But yeah, and you will all.
And I want a window as well on my top.
Okay. You've got a pectoral window.
Yes, boob.
Yep, it's keeping it gender neutral here. It is a pectoral window.
Chest hole.
But yeah, that will come out to be 30 gold each.
I'll pay for mine and Paige.
Are we all at the register together? Is that what's happening?
Sure, I don't know. I'm assuming you all got your attire, so
Quick, everyone describe your outfit.
yeah, if you want, this is your chance to describe what outfit you want to go for.
Who'd like to go first? Who wants to do the show and tell first?
Let's go, Paige. Paige.
Oh man.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Toss the
All
show
right.
on real quick.
Okay. So
you can,
we're going for long dress. Color wise, something to complement the caramel. So I assume almost like maybe almost an off-white cream color. Sparkly, and it does have that slit. It's actually going to be off the shoulder. So, and kind of instead of it being more revealing in the front, it has a large V in the back.
Ooh.
With almost an iridescent like see-through almost cape that kind of goes towards the back of it.
Love it.
Yeah, that's attached to the off-shoulder sleeves.
A nice pair of heels.
Yes.
Wonderful.
I'm
Sess.
bad at fashion. Sorry.
Sorry. Oh no, you can go if you want, Kliff.
I was just gonna say I'm really bad at fashion in real life, so I was just gonna let Jubilee describe it for me.
Okay, then we will go Sess.
All right. So, Sez is wearing these. Starting from the bottom, working our way top. These light brown leather sandals. Dark pants that are like not tight, but like they're not baggy either. They're like jeans, and they're ripped on purpose. Sez requested this because she has an aesthetic she's got to keep up. But you don't notice the tears and rips because around her hips are 2 layered hip scarves. One is long and veiled, like the cape that Paige is wearing, but it's around her waist. And on top of that, fastening in place is a much more thicker, not see-through hip scarf. Working her way up, Sez knows what is attractive about her, so she is wearing a crop top with straps, so it wraps around both her shoulders, crisscross. And since she's not wearing any sleeves or something to cover her belly, she has these black, these like darkish blue cloth wrappings around both her arms, secured in place with these like brass bangles, with a very large one on her upper left arm. And on her head, she has a sort of bandana scarf set up. Not entirely like a hijab, but it flows out from the top of her head over through her hair, and she's got these little like dangly sun and moon adornments that she's requested be stitched onto the cloth.
Lovely. Jubilee?
Should I describe my outfit first, or
either way,
nobody's?
either way.
Okay, so based off of Litro's description, I kind of envision like an androgynous like pantsuit jumpsuit sort of situation, with like loose palazzo style pants. So like if you were to like stand with your legs like closed, it would look like a skirt, but as you walk, it's actually pants.
Yeah.
And I mean, we with a very flattering, gratuitous pectoral window down the front, but like I'm gonna add a picture of something that I just found on Pinterest in the chat because it's too good. It's too good.
Okay.
I know, I'm trying to look up a picture now too.
I'm totally not gonna be using this as a rough later.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Like I saw this and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty.
That's party.
For those of you in chat who are interested.
That's for Kliff, right?
Yeah. For Jubilee, normally she dresses like a big cupcake. So like under her like armor, she's got this big like floofy, frilled, ruffled pink cupcake dress with like way too many petticoats. So I think for this occasion she's going to try something different and go for something a little more like sleek, a little more form-fitting, but just a touch of the cupcake. You can't take the cupcake out of the girl entirely. So I picture like a kind of cocktail style dress, like knee length, off the shoulder, but like the sleeves, like a full length sleeve, but like poofy. And
Awesome.
And of course it's pink.
Of course. Well, I hope you all enjoyed those descriptions of our lovely cast, all ready for a night on the town. But yep, so that'll be 30 gold each. Do you wish to wear the outfits leaving the store?
No, we still got plenty of time before we actually get to the dinner.
Yeah, we'll put them nice and safely away.
Yep.
Oh, Paige is having a hard time trying to take it off when she put it on.
Come on, sis. Let's get in the changing room again.
Thank you.
All right, and so you all change back into your normal clothes. Severin takes your money and goes, "You all look absolutely gorgeous. Be sure to tell your hostess that Severin brought all of this together."
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
We'll bow deeply. All right, so you guys have shopped. What would you like to do now?
You all are free to do as you wish. I would like to wander a bit.
I mean, by yourself? Didn't you want to show Jubilee something?
I would like Jubilee to come with, but I understand they don't really wish to.
I mean, it's fine, but Sess and Paige, or will you be all right? What should we pick a time and place to meet back up?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we gotta pick someone to meet up where we can change again, but we don't really have. Wait, do we have one more night at the inn, or are we just?
No,
That's it.
You guys have to check out tonight because you're no longer employed. So unless you want to pay for the Gold Dragon Inn out of pocket,
Nope. How's about we meet up back at the inn to change into our outfits? All right.
All right.
Jubilee, would you hang on to our clothes for us? I feel like I'll definitely mess them up. I know that for a fact. That.
Of course. And you can see she looks very happy to have multiple shopping bags on her arm. She's very pleased.
Okay, so do you go in your separate directions then? Or do you guys still want to travel together? I don't know what you want to do.
We'd be splitting the party, yes, Obsidian, the words
Yes.
every DM doesn't want to hear.
You'll love to hear it. You'll love to hear it.
Love to hear it. Mhm.
Okay, so what would Paige and Cess be doing while Jubilee and Kliff are off elsewhere wandering?
We can. If you want to maybe look for a bookshop, I wouldn't mind checking out and seeing what they have here.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go look for books, yeah. Sorry, my head's a little empty. I wasn't ready to do more stuff today. I kind of forgot how long a day is.
Oh, we can always rest in a shop somewhere if you want to maybe get
No,
something to
that's
eat.
No. I mean, shouldn't eat too much. I gotta, watch myself now. Had a little bit too much leisure these last couple of days. Come on, let's get to your bookstore. I had to suppress the tea sipping urges of just watching them and following them, but curiosity did bad things to the cat. I'm not sure what, but
No, I have yet to be told, but yeah, let's go. And
it's like every time the adults mention it around us, they like sort of clam up as if it's like something that would offend us, but it's just cats, yeah?
right, they never specified. I always thought that was strange.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so you guys can still utilize the Gold Dragon Inn until this evening when you have to check out. So if at the end of your journey you wish to get a massage or something else, that can still be provided under your current stay. But you will be looking for a bookstore. Kliff and Jubilee, what do you wish to do?
Kliff, or rather, the person without a name right now, is mostly wandering absent-mindedly as they just talk with Jubilee. Have you ever heard of a book where there's an elf and a dwarf, two noble families?
I don't know. That seems to be an awfully vague descriptor of a book.
Paige was talking about it earlier.
Oh, Paige has read a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Being the intellectual she is.
Yeah, I guess I was just hoping to pick up a copy.
Oh,
She was going on about it. I wasn't quite sure what it was, though.
I guess you could ask her later the title of it. They're not that far away. Do you want to flag them down?
We can talk to him later about it. By the way, the voice, is it getting annoying? Should I change it at all?
Well, it's fine. I'm unused to hearing it. So if that's the one you like, then of course you should keep it. You should listen. You keep asking about what other people would want you to look and to act like. But I think it's best if you decide what you want.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know what I want. For so long, I was doing what I was told. And yeah, there were some parts where I got to do my own thing. Like the ring. That was my idea. But most of the time, it wasn't really me. I guess now that I'm going out, how you talked to me before, I kind of want to know what the real me is. And I can tell you, Kliff isn't unhappy about it. He has been throwing a tantrum in my head all day.
Well, Kliff always did like to get what he wanted. But isn't it exhausting? Trying to always be something else?
It's not too hard to be something else when you were nothing before.
I suppose.
Before Kliff, I was literal scum on the street. I grew up in a box, slept on hay. People threw rocks at me when they saw me. I imagine if people came to that well when I was down there, and they saw it was me and not some rich boy, and I'd still be down in that well. I was nothing before. Suppose that's why I listen to what Kliff tells me to do. And even though I took it, he still gave me what little was left. He gave me a mother. He gave me a father. He gave me 2 sisters. He let me meet you. So it's confusing. Trying to figure out what I want. Because this whole time I thought I had what I want. The longer it goes on, the more uncomfortable I feel.
Listen, acting as Kliff, it may have gotten you all this, but I think it's really up to you what to do next.
And at this point, they absentmindedly stop in front of the paint store they were at before.
That's so you're gonna wander into the monster part of Greywall.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make that clear because monster part of Greywall is different than this part of Greywall.
Okay. I'm sorry, I don't have the city map in my head too
Yeah.
well.
Okay, so you've gone through the gate into the monster part of the town, and you will go to the higher end area where there is Kiara's painting studio.
I don't know why, but I wanted to come back here.
Something you wanted to buy?
No? Just something about the place. You want to come in with me? Look at all the different paintings?
Sure. Do you like art?
No? I always enjoyed moving pictures with my magic. Guess it's kind of like that, just these are still and flat.
Sure, let's go in.
It's a date. Walk inside.
Okay. As you walk inside, there is that same Minotaur woman doodling behind her desk. Jubilee, this is your first time in here, so you see about a 6.5 foot tall Minotaur woman wearing a black turtleneck and a beret, and she's got a kind of a brown and white patched hair color and coat to the parts of her that are furred. And you see that there are paintings of beautiful pastoral imagery and also MC Escher-esque like optical illusion matrices and stuff. Those are like the two genres that she paints. And look up as you guys enter and go, "Oh, I don't believe I've met either of you before. Welcome to my studio. I am Kiara. I am surprised to see that people from the Enclave have decided to come here, but welcome.
Thank you. My friend here expressed interest in your work, and I thought we'd stop in.
Oh," she looks at you, goes, "You've heard of me?"
Yes. You see, I'm a servant of Kliff. He told me a lot about your paintings, and I suppose I just wanted to take a look at them.
Oh, him. Yes. Well, welcome. These are some of my best works that I've done as of yet. That I haven't sold, of course. My paintings have been in several of the households within Greywall and in Greater Drome itself.
Do you paint them all yourself?
Oh, absolutely.
Starts to look at a few of them. I feel bad because I want you to describe them, but at the same time, I don't want you to have to go through all that work.
I'm not going to
make
go
them
through
up
all
on the
of
spot.
that. You get the idea that they're beautiful pastorals of forests and grasslands and pictures of Greywall itself, like the walls and the spiked governor's mansion that comes above the walls, as well as it's hard for you to conceptualize how some of these optical illusion paintings work. They seem to require a way of visualizing things that probably is something that appeals to a Minotaur's sensibilities of how they can interpret labyrinths and stuff. And so they find great appeal in intentional optical illusions that create basically maze-like imagery. But it's hard for you as a non-Minotaur to truly appreciate it.
I'm finding myself almost lost in this one here.
Oh, yes. That is called the Pit. I can understand it. It is one of my... I like to still, as much as I appreciate nature scenes as well as more commercial works that are widely marketable, these are something that personally appeal to me in my exploits. They keep the mind sharp as you try to follow the lines. And you see her start like gesturing with her hand as she like is basically showing you that the picture is actually forming a spiral that begins at a top that's working its way to a center point. And the only way to basically find yourself out of the center of the painting is to actually flip the spiral upside down in your perspective, and then you can retrace that to be able to get to the external part of it. But it only makes sense when she's explaining it to you step by step. But there you go.
Quite clever.
That is fascinating.
Yes, it's something that is not widely appreciated by most people. Many find it very nauseating to try and view for an extended period of time.
I almost find it beautiful.
Well, that makes me very happy. Would you be interested in taking one home?
How much is it?
He looks and goes, since you all appreciate these, and these don't usually sell normally, I'll give it to you for 15 gold.
I think I'll take it.
Excellent. Anything for you, miss?
Oh, I don't have much in the way of an eye of an artist, but I'm glad that my friend here found something they liked.
Absolutely. If that's all, I'll just mark you up. And she will take your 15 gold. And as she gives you the painting wrapped in canvas, she will look at you, Kliff, and go, and remember, sometimes the only way to escape the pit is to change your perspective. And she winks.
Starting to understand that. Thank you.
Gives you guys a big warm smile as she goes back to doodling.
As they're exiting the store and nobody's actually like looking at us, I can almost see myself in here. Paint. What do you think of that?
I think it's a nice piece.
No, paint. For a name.
Paint?
Paint.
Well, seems a little unusual.
Does anything about this poem seem usual? Does anything about me seem usual?
I suppose not. Does it feel right? The name?
Looking at this painting, I see myself trapped in a void, unknowing where to go, trying to be led by a finger that says, come this way, this is the right way. But it was not until someone else was to flip my perspective. Someone who has been there and is now helping me look at the world through a new view, that I can see the true way out. So yes, I think paint is a lovely name.
All right. Paint it is then.
Thank you, Jubilee.
You're welcome.
I offer my hand to hers.
I put half of my shopping bags in it.
You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it.
Paint just smirks, throws the bags over their shoulder, and starts to walk back.
Okay. And with that, we will do Cess and Paige as you are walking around the International Enclave. You notice that there does not appear to be any commercial bookstores here, but you can always go check the monster part of the city if you're so inclined.
We don't know where they ran off to, so I don't want to go too far.
We do gotta be back at the We do gotta be back at the inn at a reasonable time. Yeah, I don't want to make them wait for us. This is hard. There's no library around here either, yeah?
As you're asking me that. No.
Yes, God. I'm sorry, I can't.
Asking God.
The D&D character just punches his way through my brain.
No, this place is basically purely designed to be a commercial hub, and some catering to the people who reside here either permanently or temporarily. So a library has not been erected.
And I don't mind sitting down and just waiting for them to come back.
Sure, we could, just sit down and talk and stuff.
I feel like we haven't done that in a while. I feel a lot more independent now. I feel like I'm just leaning on you more and more recently.
Wait, hold on. You said you're feeling more independent, but then feeling like you're leaning.
You are more independent.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, I mean, sis, I still rely on you, and this. I don't know if I've been like overstepping boundaries of this group, but I know there will be a time where I can't do something, but you can. So yeah, I don't. Is everything alright? Is this something you want to talk about, sis? I'm not like leaving you or anything. If that's what you're worried about.
Oh, no, I didn't think anything like that. It's just really, really neat seeing how you've grown, how you're growing, and how you're really reacting to this group. I mean, not like we're around people all the time, especially this often.
I'd like to think that those skills I had back there with talking to people and having to organize a group, I got those from the pits. The old man Kazuchi, that weird guy from the east or whatever, he used to come up with these like group tactics at times and if you were a fighter that wanted to live, you would stick with them. That's where I learned stuff from that. But listen, Paige, you have your own skills too. You need to recognize your own growth. I know you've had to overcome a lot recently, but don't forget you're also doing things out. I mean, like, you're okay with the dress that shows off your legs now. It's kind of insane.
Embarrassed by it. Don't get me wrong. But everyone seemed really excited about it, so I don't mind giving it a try.
Yeah, but you're comfortable with it, right? You didn't get pressured in that, yeah? Because we can march right back to that boutique and get you like pants or something.
No.
Or tights.
It's okay. I think it looks nice. I think so.
You recognize that you look nice, right?
Yeah, I do.
You mean that, right? You ain't gonna make me roll an insight check or nothing, right?
No, really. It wasn't. We don't get to wear things like this very often, and I've never seen myself look like that before.
That's what you look like every single day. It's just a different splash of color on you. A different coat of paint, you could say.
Yeah.
Listen, sis, get used to this. I know I told the group to not get used to the luxury, but one day you're gonna get used to this kind of luxury. You know that, right? You've got a big future ahead of you. You know that, yeah?
We do. Both of us.
Yeah. Anywho, did you, I'm not, if we're doing this group thing, right, and we're not staying in Sean, I don't know where we're staying, do you want to write it kind of has to be you, because I can't really, do the words right, but, do you want to tell our neighbors to watch our house more? Do you want to like?
Oh, yes. That's probably a good idea. I should probably start writing that letter.
Takes out like 20 gold and slides it towards Paige and be like, okay, well, I mean, we do need to make our contributions, and it should help them out as well and stuff. The community potluck that we'll be missing. Oh God, I missed the Smith family pie already.
Oh no, don't mention it.
Wait. How are you gonna tell the professor that this is gonna be more of like a permanent thing? How am I gonna tell Coach? So you're like,
That's okay. It's okay. Just leave it to me. I think I'm pretty convincing in a letter. We'll just let them know.
I'll be trusting you, sis, because if either of them come over here and like God forbid they're in the same room together.
Oh goodness.
God, you're not gonna make any boat comments around them like you did last time, yeah?
I mean, the boat is there.
You don't tell them that the boat's there. Listen,
No,
my coach.
I can't help it.
My coach is a dwarf. Your professor is an elf. There's a
It's
lot
just
going
like
on
the
there.
book I read. It's just like the book I read.
Life is not like your book. I mean, now that you mention it again, though, I mean, I wouldn't be. Okay. If they do come, though, we gotta figure things out. We gotta introduce Jubilee and Kliff or nobody or whatever. We'll figure it out. There's a lot we gotta consider if this is a permanent thing. I was not ready.
Well, I mean, we tend to figure things out as we go, so I'm sure it'll be okay.
I'm just hoping Coach doesn't sign me up for more suicide drills, and she's like grabbing her like belly because it's kind of a little bit of weight was gained in the past couple of days.
Nice. Do you need to work out a little bit more?
I should get back into the regimen. Yeah, I don't have that natural strength that those like pit champs have.
What are you talking about? She's gonna kind of like go over and like kind of tickle her sides a little bit. Like, this is all stone here.
She's like trying to stifle the laughter from being tickled. Like, no. I just gotta put in a little more effort to keep up. That's all. Oh God, see how buff Jubilee was? Like I haven't even cracked a dish with strength before. How did she do that while scrubbing?
Oh my goodness, yes. I mean, all that armor's constantly weighing her down. I feel like it's almost like your own weights almost.
God, none of this Kliff. Oh my God, we were some talented folks. Oh man.
I mean, you're talented too. Don't forget that.
So are you. You melted a guy. Assuming that's okay to joke about, she like sits up straight.
It is a bit of a sore subject, but I did that. I know. I learned that magic. It is kind of cool.
Your professor, she taught you that, yeah? You learned that in school?
Yes.
They wouldn't have taught it to you if they didn't expect you to not use it. I know we had a whole conversation and you're taking responsibility. You're the star in the sky right now. That other star is gone. But listen, as long as you're not playing around like that thing's a toy, there's nothing wrong with it, okay? There are plenty of gods and police forces out there that make plenty of mistakes with those things, and you're doing the best you can.
Right. I'll definitely be more careful next time.
You do what you need to do to live. That was one of the priorities I listed, yeah? Gotcha. She goes back to like leaning down. I'm assuming we're at like a fountain, or we're at like a little stone fountain outside the Golden Dragon or something, just talking.
Yeah, you just chill. I'm assuming with that, you covered the primary points.
Yep.
So you guys can kick back and relax. Eventually, Kliff and Jubilee will return. You all can get ready, all dressed up. Get your nice prestidigitation showers, and they will perfume you to your heart's content as you are now adorned in your gorgeous attire. They will also do your makeup for you if you're so inclined. And with that, you can journey into the monstrous part of Greywall once more to head to Lady Cryotrixia's home. Anything upon your departure that you wish to get out there now?
Can we have a carriage?
It's not traditional for a carriage to go between the two because normally outsiders can't go into the main city. But if you are
just
inclined,
pick us up at like the
yeah,
border, maybe.
there could be a monster carriage to take you there once you actually enter the monster part of the city.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been on a carriage. It's like those like princess stories. Yeah, I've never been on a carriage before. Looks at like the whatever monstrous steeds they have, like Moorbanders or Blink Panthers. Like, oh, those look pretty.
Yeah, it's a.
Those what?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I would say it's a bugbear as the coachman, and the steeds are two enormous spiked wolves with muzzles on.
Jubilee, is this what princesses use?
Well, sometimes.
Get in.
Oh my gosh,
I really hope that we are not overdressing for this.
And if we are, there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, did you see how Cryotrixia was dressed? We'll be fine. We'll pale in comparison, worst case.
It is a comparatively short ride of only a few minutes to get from the gate to her house in a carriage, as opposed to on foot. When you arrive a bit outside of her house specifically, because they just are not authorized to ride that close to her home. So it's a little bit of a walk. It'll probably be like, 50 to 100 feet to walk there. But as you approach her den, for lack of a better word, you do see that there are several very large armored figures standing in front of her house. They're probably all about 10 to 12 feet tall, wearing full plate, with the symbol of a some kind of cephalopodic head on a tower or on a wall on their armor. And they're standing out there with various weapons at kind of a alert parade rest.
Is this a symbol that we would recognize?
You will. You've seen that symbol several times in the city. It is the symbol of the governor of Greywall.
Okay. I guess we walk up?
We pull up.
As you approach them, the armored ogres snap to attention, and from out behind them you see two figures emerge. One of them is a roughly Jubilee-sized tiefling who is wearing black spiked half-plate armor with that same symbol on it, and she has an emerald green skin tone, and her horns go back like a gazelle's horns rather than the hooked horns that Jubilee has, that are kind of an almost, you would say, noxious yellow-green combination. And she has bright green eyes and scars on her face, and she is scowling very deeply as she looks up at you all. And standing next to her is a approximately 7 foot tall Medusa woman wearing it appears to be a fairly simple, dark gray, like kind of flowing gown with the symbol of the Dark Six hanging from a necklace around her neck, and her snakes on her head are pulled into basically 2 braids over her shoulders like a Viking, and she has bright yellow reptilian eyes, and she's got jewelry up and down her arms like bangles and torques and rings, and she's smiling. She's got a very big, very fang-filled smile as she looks down at you guys.
Good evening.
So you're the heroes of the hour.
Only the hour?
I suppose you could say that.
Tiefling kind of humps. He goes, well, then I guess I'm in the right place. Captain Lilith Venomspite. I have been ordered to see you all.
It's good to finally meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
She, in a face that is best described as, like, a very caustic smile, she flashes you, and all of her gums are like this light green color to them. And she goes, I'm sure only good things.
Only the best. And give her just like this sort of, like, playful smile, I guess would be the correct adjective. Like, you can tell that she's joking, but, like, not in a mean way.
She kind of grunts, and then the Medusa stepped forward and goes, pleasure to meet you. I am High Priestess Hecate, the local representative of the Six. And she does a very deep curtsy to all
Hecate
four of
was
you.
her name?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hecate or Hecate?
We're gonna say Hecate. It's whatever I said first. Now you're making me wonder what I said.
It's quite
Don't worry about
lovely
it.
to meet you.
And she smiles and goes, oh, it is so lovely to meet you all. You have been highly recommended.
Oh, well, that's good. Thank you.
Well, I know
Do
you've
hope
got...
that-
Sorry, what were you saying?
I do hope that Miss Venomspite over there isn't green with envy.
You see Venomspite's eyes like flare open as she bares her fangs at Kliff, and Hecate puts
That paint.
a gentle, calming hand on Venomspite's shoulder. Now, I know you've got a very important dinner to attend to, but alas, we wanted to make sure we caught you before you happened to leave.
Of course.
You caught us. Congratulations.
We are here to give our city's thanks to you for all that you've done for us. And so we have some accolades and thanks to present upon you.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you so much. We're honored.
The honor is truly mine. And she will step forward, and you see some blackness materialize in her hand, and suddenly it is filled with 4 necklaces that all appear to be made out of some kind of, probably like a beautiful polished obsidian stone. And it is the symbol of the Dark Six. and she will walk up to you one by one, and she will place the symbol around your neck, assuming you do not refuse.
After she puts it on,
Yeah.
says we'll take it off to inspect it and then pocket it.
She smiles at you, and you get this very like heady aroma from her of, you would say, probably like freshly sanded stone is probably the smell that she gives off, as if she was basically a sculptor constantly dealing with statues. And she will, as she sees you pocket everything, goes, "Oh, lost child, your survival instinct is truly an honor to the Six."
I'm a character.
Yeah.
Can I insight that?
Sure.
I just that can mean a lot in the current
Yeah,
circumstance.
interpret
and
it
I
as you
want-
wish.
That is a 17.
Yeah.
Are
it's-
these? Go ahead.
It sounds like she is being like a genuine compliment of you. You do know, based on your experience growing up with the Church of the Sovereign Host, that the Dark Six is generally portrayed to be very evil in their eyes and very predatory and violent and savage. So it seems like she is giving you an endearing compliment. That basically you are a good predator, probably.
I appreciate you noting my talents, but whatever strengths we got, if regardless of I'm trying to figure out how to word this. I'm sorry, things go over my head all the time. What good is our strengths if it means a child under our grasp can get into trouble,
She nods.
I'm just glad my survival instinct was good enough to stop a big mistake from happening.
It is always important to protect the things that matter to you.
As long as you know what matters. Yeah.
Of course. She just will smile and then go and place one around Paige's neck. May you
Thank-
find...
Thorough.
Sorry, what were you going to say, Paige?
No, she's just thanking her.
May you find wisdom in your hunts, child of the moon.
This is such an extravagant gift. I feel bad accepting.
It is the least I can do, as simply a showing of my thanks to you, and that I hope that the Six will bless you in all of your journeys forth. May the Wanderer lead you to your destinations, and may you be protected from the things that pursue you.
I thank you very kindly.
And she will put one around Paint's neck.
I'll be sure to give this to the right person when they can.
He gives you just a big smile. He goes, of course, of course. I'm sure that it will find itself in the hands of who it rightfully will belong to. And then she'll go over to Jubilee and place another one on her.
Thank you kindly.
We greatly appreciate these gifts and your thank yous, I suppose is the word. Appreciation. However, as any good person should, we do not want to be late. We do have a place we need to go.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not the only one here to thank you. As she looks over at Venom Spike, who scowls very deeply at this. But my part in this play is over. You are always welcome here, and if you ever seek guidance, I and the Six will do our best to lead you down the right path. And she will take a step back as Venom Spike kind of grudgingly shuffles forward. I've been told that that the governor himself wishes to speak to you, so give me a moment. And you see that she closes her eyes for a moment, and you feel a prickling of energy coming from her. And then when her eyes open, they are rolled all the way back in her head. And her whole demeanor relaxes. And her hands move in a much more flowing way. She walks to you all and goes, "Ah, so you are the ones I've heard so much about. The people from far away serving. The houses that bring their gold and bring their desires to my city. Well, I'm glad to see that all's well that ends well, and that I was greeted not with mercenaries, but with heroes." And you know she, glides as she moves now. And all of her things are very just fluid in every movement she does, despite the fact that she quite clearly can't see anything on account of her eyes. "But I know you have a dinner you wish to attend in my fair city, but know that you are now just as much a part of my city as anyone else is here, and I would hope that you would allow me to extend my thanks and extend my protection to you all."
Protection? How so?
She snaps her fingers, and 4 kind of brooches appear. Each are the symbol of that cephalopodic head on the wall. And she will hand it to each of you.
That's right. Mind flare. I almost forgot.
Yes. "This is a showing that you are mine, and I will protect you as long as you are in Drome. If you show this to anyone, they will know you are under my protection, and they will leave you be, for anything they do to you would be a slight against me, and no one wishes to slight against me."
This is...
Thank you.
Oh, yes, this is also very kind.
But I
We'll be
think you'll
sure
find
not-
if... I hope that, trust goes both ways. If you find something's amiss in your fair city, I hope you can trust to reach out and hopefully we can help.
She smiles in a way that is, I would best describe it as a pantomime of a smile by something that doesn't actually understand what it's supposed to be meaning, just kind of understands the context, and this is what people kind of look like. So it's somebody kind of mimicking it, but it's kind of unnatural because you actually hear a little bit of joint popping in Venom Spite's mouth as she extends her mouth probably a little too far than it's supposed to be able to do. As she says, "Oh, trust me, I will be sure to find plenty of ways to utilize your services in the future."
And hopefully we'll be able to meet you in person next time?
In time, little one, in time. But I just have one more thing to say, and then may you revel and delight yourself amongst one of my champions. As he extends forward a key, which he will provide to a random person. He will provide to Paige. He places a key in your hand and looks up at you because the body has to look up at you with those, white eyes gazing at you and that too far smile, and goes, I figure that it would be most appropriate that you be able to make yourself truly at home in my city. So this'll be to your new domicile here. I have already arranged for servants to attend you. They will see that all of this is resolved when you depart from your dinner.
My Paige, sis. It looks like you guys just got an upgrade on your home.
Oh dear, this is far too much. I couldn't accept something like this.
She puts her gauntleted hand over yours, and it kind of curls around your hand, the hand holding the key. It's just a very, it's best described as when a spider dies and its legs curl back up on it. That's how her hand moves around your hand.
Ooh.
And you feel the humming pulse of some kind of great energy-like weight kind of pressing against the back of your eyes. As she goes, oh, trust me, this is the least of my boons that I can provide you. You do not wish to insult my generosity, do you?
No.
Paige, this is where you say no.
Right. No, of course not. I apologize.
And she retracts her fingers from around your hand, and you feel the pressure of being so close to her begin to dissipate as she backs away and goes, consider this my thanks. You have protected what is mine, and I will protect you in turn. Enjoy your meal. And with that, you see her begin to kind of shiver just a little bit, and you hear the popping sound of her joints moving back to where they're supposed to be, and her eyes roll back into place, and there's a bit of a glossiness over them at first, but she kind of snaps out of it pretty quickly. This is probably something she does fairly regularly. So she kind of shakes her head and looks at you, goes, all right, well, the governor said what the governor was going to say. I think our time here is done.
Well, thank you anyway, both of you.
Yeah. All right. Well, enjoy Lady Cryotrixia. She's a character. Oh, you're not staying for dinner? You hear the voice of Lady Cryotrixia coming from behind them and behind the armored ogres.
Yes!
As Venom Spike kind of shivers. Goes, no, we've got very important business to attend to. Now that we have to ensure that everybody's children are taken care of, and what's a pity?
What's wrong, Venom Spite? Are you sure you can't stay at least for one meal? I mean, look at Cryotrixia. She would just love to have you in her home, I am sure.
Yeah, with the ogres being about 12 feet tall, Lady Cryotrixia at her full coil is 15 feet tall, looking over them all down at you guys. And she goes, please stay. It would be so rude of me as a host. And
But if you must leave, then I'm sure she can at least give you a hug goodbye.
no hugs. I'm leaving. I've got to send the troops back to the garrison. Good day. As she huffs and starts marching away, at the ogres pause for a brief moment and immediately start snapping into marching order behind her in a form of disciplined ogre marching you did not think was generally possible based on what you've heard about ogres. They appear to be very highly trained.
Alright then, good night, y'all.
And Hecate will look at you guys and just smile and be like, well, enjoy your meal. I'm off to I'm going to return to the temple. May the Six guide your way and defend your hearts.
Note for later, scan the 3 things we got for magic of any kind in case they are trying to spy on us.
Oh, yes, detect magic for sure.
And now you can look up at Lady Crowtrixia. She is wearing what appears to be a very sheer, tightly fitting, like kind of Roman silk toga-like outfit that is very much constraining to keep in her many features and all of her jewelry about her person as well. Her hair is pulled back into very immaculately woven rows, and they each are intertwined with their own sets of jewels. As she looks down and goes, my, you all look so beautiful. You know, you just look good enough to eat. Follow me.
You are such a flirt. Meanwhile, you in such your voluptuous form, you are just... I must say, it is completely dazzling. Now, we met an excellent tailor on the way over here, and he gave us all these wonderful outfits. Perhaps, if you are willing to make the trek, they could actually get you something that fully hold in all of your beauty.
She leans down at you and smiles as her tongue flicks between her fangs at you, and goes, "You are always such a charmer, Kliff."
Oh, they're in paint form right now.
I know, but you smell the same to her.
Oh, jeez. As soon as they say that, immediately shut up.
And she just puts a well-manicured, painted talon under your chin, as she winks and then begins to slither into the enormously open double doors of her den.
I just grew a lot more scared just now.
But yeah, and with that, I think we are at a good place to end. We can do the dinner next time, and you guys getting to see your new home in Greywall.
Ooh,
Excited.
has
And
a
it's
little...
going to be a shorter wait time because it's not going to be until next Wednesday. It's
Yeah,
gonna
it'll be
till
Monday.
Yeah.
Monday!
Hey, Monday.
Is it
We don't have to wait as
Monday yet?
But I hope you all had fun playing tonight.
Ooh, yes, so much tension towards the end. Oh my goodness.
You
I
have
was constantly thinking like, oh, what are some good comebacks I can come to insult this green bitch?
you have heard that Venom Spite is a very abrasive woman. You notice a lot of the people you interact with here at Greywall are very abrasive.
Abrasive women in an Obsidious campaign? Crazy.
Could never be.
But I hope you guys all had fun. I hope chat had fun watching. It was a great RP session. Lots of development. We got to get to the most important part of any D&D game, which is intensive personal finance management.
Yeah.
That vacation fund is looking good.
Meanwhile, I spent almost half of the gold I already had. I went from 200 down to 125 like that, paying for both Paige's outfit, my outfit, and a painting.
Worth it.
Money well spent. I guess you'll just have to keep taking adventuring jobs to to pay for this hobby.
The fun for this hobby, yeah.
We have a house.
Yeah, if you
I can
haven't...
always go ask my parents for a handout if I really need to, but I feel like they're not going to be as willing if I come out to them.
Ooh, allegory
Mom
much.
and Dad, I have something to tell you. I'm blue.
Double D, double die.
Thank you, Yulia. The LGBTC, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and changeling. But yes, if you haven't done so already, please go give me a follow here on Twitch for more of these wonderful streams, as well as my other streams. You can also follow me on Twitter. You can follow my Twitter, or subscribe to my Twitter, my YouTube, and you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my amazing community. Also, as I typed in with exclamation point D&D, there is a separate YouTube that I post all of the Ashes of the Last War videos to. So if you want to watch the previous episodes, rewatch the previous episodes, be sure to check it out and subscribe to us there. Every little bit helps. I appreciate it. Also, be sure to check out all of my wonderful people here. Yulia, Sif, Litro, and Maribelle. You did the exclamation point players to see all of their wonderful Twitches. They're all amazing streamers in their own right, and you will love all of their content as much as I love them. I will be back here on Friday for more Fallout New Vegas, baby. So be sure to come on by at 6 p.m. Eastern. Otherwise, we will be back here on Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern for more Ashes of the Last War, as we now begin going into interior decorating role-playing. So I can't wait to see you guys then. If we're going to go get a raid target, if you're a follower, please copy down the call to hugs. If you're a sub, please copy down the knight's message. I think I know who I want us to raid. I'm going to make sure they're still streaming right now.
Streaming.
Because they are doing a tabletop RPG story session and discussion. So we're going to be raiding Jazzy Bassy, everybody's favorite Barzista.
Woo!
I don't know, Jazzy.
So they have a D&D/tabletop RPG like talk show that they're doing right now. So we're going to go stop them by, wish them lots of love, give them those big hugs. They're a very good bean, huge into D&D and role-playing games, so you're going to get lots more good content from them. So with all of that being in mind, let's go send them some love. I hope you have a wonderful evening and the sweetest of dreams. And let's go raid. Bye!
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.